And the police lady said something remarkable. They said no. So I said, so you've come to give me a warning about an article that you've never read. And one lady had a rather low, not indecent, but a fairly low top. And I noticed that she started to blush a bit here. And she said, well, we haven't read it, but we've been told to come and tell you off, basically. And I said, well, if you had read the article, you would realise that the article was actually pro-Jewish, which it was. And we only ever had one telephone call from a member of the public about that article, and it was a Jewish gentleman based in Cornwall who said it was the best article he'd ever read on that subject. So I then asked the two police ladies whether they would like to discuss some more pertinent things, like the fraud at Fort Bovisand, which was an MOD property in Plymouth, at which all sorts of skullduggery went on. And in particular, Devon and Cornwall police have some rather unsavoury connections. I'm very happy with this because there's rather a lot of evidence on it. And the blush got more and more and more and more. And then she said, I think I'm going to terminate this discussion. And she left. So that was a story in answer to your question, but I believe we do need to look at this issue. And as far as I'm concerned, it doesn't matter what race, creed, religion somebody is. We know who we're looking for. We're looking for people who are immoral, crooked, nasty people, and they exist amongst Christians and Muslims and Jewish communities. So we shouldn't be squeamish, but we also need to be aware that there's some very powerful forces at work out there, particularly when you get on this very delicate subject. But I would encourage everybody to read, because I started to discover some very interesting factors about who actually funded the Bolshevik regime. And the banking community, never mind what religion is connected to it, the banking community is quite obviously guilty of making regimes which then foment wars. I don't have any doubt about that.
Who funded the last two world wars?
Well, one last statement, and go and challenge your MP. Who's your MP down here?
At the moment, Mike Lancrum, but he's retiring.
Well, I've already challenged a new one and asked her a few questions.
Is Mr. Rankin retiring? Did he have a wisteria problem or something like that, was it?
Yeah, but we've got
Right.
a new Claire Perry coming on the scene. I've met her twice.
Well, ask your MP why. Well, okay. Go and find an MP and ask the MP why MPs are not allowed to ask questions about the Bank of England in Parliament. That is fact. The bank that controls your money, my money, our own MPs are not allowed to ask questions about that bank.
Gave them superior...
No, it's not to do with that. It's far deeper.
Well,
It's far deeper than that.
well, I know, but that's what we're... That's the
Yeah.
phraseology.
But the bank runs our money, and our own MPs are not allowed to ask questions about its activities in Parliament. That's extraordinary.
Well, it was started off in 1680 by a certain breed of people.
Would you like to help me here, Mike?
You don't need any help.
Okay.
We're not going to answer any questions. We still don't answer the questions. So,
But the trick is to keep asking the questions, because the questions cause them stress. And I would like to think that our MPs are stressed up to the eyeballs.
And the next question is to ask about the Bank of England nominees. But what's a lot more simple and a lot more fun is to walk into your local bank and ask the lady or the gentleman behind the counter for an information leaflet on fractional reserve banking. They go, do it, it's funny, it really is. Ladies and gentlemen, Lieutenant Commander, I think that's correct.
That's correct, yeah.
Brian Gerrish, well, may be retired. Thank you very much.
Brilliant, thank you. Thank you for putting it together. That's good.
I'm sure this is just the end of the